Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Mili reaction. Today we have Rubber Human, as requested by Hal in the comments of the last video, and I'm just gonna get to this one because this apparently is a prequel to the one I just listened to, 1000 by 1000. So, not entirely sure how exact the whole prequel-sequel relationship is, given I'm also pretty sure that that song is a 1 million subscriber special. Might not be specifically a sequel, but also could be. But I'm gonna listen to this one either way and see what it has in store, so without further ado, let's go! Okay. It's the whimsical Mili sound. Okay. Okay. Lyricism. The cartoony sound effects, dude. So she has done the rap thing before.
Believe me, it's true. My day and night run my love for you.
Huh. Okay. So it must be something more specific to, like, this story, I guess. As maybe is the whimsy of it all. Albeit they do that often enough. More electric sheep. They reference that a lot when they're bringing up robots. That sound, dude. I am in the middle with this one. I like the song. It's not that I don't. It's more of a, I'm trying to figure out what it all means now that I have the other song in the context line. It changes my thoughts, and I don't know how to feel about that. Alright, so like I mentioned, this song kind of got me thinking about the other one in a different way. I mean, it's still not like 100% different in that way. Like, the story is still pretty clear. The characterization is very consistent, surprisingly, despite the many years difference between these. They do a really good job at that when they do, like, their huge gaps between, like, the songs and sequels, because I've heard a few that are sequels of each other by now, and they love doing the referential stuff, bringing things back that are very much thematically in line with the other ones, and that's very much the case here, because now I'm seeing where the other song came from, musically. This one's a little bit more goofy, and probably because of the whole topic of Rubber Human, it's probably meant to be a little bit more cartoony in that way. Not because they're trying to be a cartoon or anything, thematically that doesn't make sense, but in the way of a rubber human being kind of clumsy and not knowing how things would exactly work for the body because they're not used to it. So despite that, like, desire to be a human, they wouldn't be the real thing, so there would be that, like, clumsiness to trying to be a human, and the rubber part is just kind of exaggerating that a little bit further lyrically. And lyrically as well, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in this one that I don't quite know, but I'm expecting them to be references to other stuff that Mili's made that I'm just not grabbing a hold of. I might have even heard some of them at points before, but it's been so many months since I've heard all of the Mili stuff I was initially doing that it could have been from any of them. You know, like if you're going to reference something from Gone Angels, I'm here now, you know, like that was months and months and months and months ago. I'm not going to remember those references and be able to pick those apart, but I'm sure that's probably what they're doing because that is a Mili staple. One of the things that they enjoy doing all the time is referencing their prior works, and especially because this is related to 1000, it makes a lot of sense to have it referencing other stuff as well that came around the same time, maybe from the same album even, so that's really not a shocker to me. It was just weird ones like the eggplant one was just like, what the fuck, where did that come from? But musically, we actually have a pretty simple one this time around, which is weird because I'm so used to them doing these like really cool musical things, but this one just kind of played it safe, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's still a very good production, and a lot of this one does lean into the sound design I mentioned earlier, so that's kind of the reason this song exists, I think, and chord progression wise, it's just more simple. So what I think we've got here is a G flat for the key, and that just makes sense given everything else that I play here, but E flat minor, and then a C flat, which is the same as a B, if you're wondering about that, and then a D flat, and then of course, the G flat, which is weird because usually your tonic, the root note, would be the one you start on in most cases, but for this one, they start a little bit lower and they work their way up, which isn't unheard of by any means. It's just not the most standard way to do a progression. So in that way, they're still doing weird things with this. You have the start at this chord, you work your way down, back up, and it comes back down to reset. It brings itself back down to that D flat so we can get back to the E flat minor fast enough. And that's just how it resets. It feels like it's cutting a little bit, which does happen in some chord progressions. That's totally fine, totally natural. It's not something weird that they did. The bass line for this is kind of fun because I'm pretty sure it's just doing this. And it's just like not trying too hard, right? But at the same time, I feel like there's a more fun way to play this. So let me set the octave down one just so you can hear this in a better light. But basically you could take this bass line and advance it to something a little bit more fun to play by introducing just perfect fifths. And you can just bounce on these the whole way you're playing the bass line. And it just kind of loops like that. I don't think it might go down to that note there, but at the same time, I'm not positive. Either way, that's just kind of like how I would arrange it if I were doing this on the piano, because that's more fun to play than just the standard bass line they're going for. It's just not as bouncy. Having keeps that rhythm going. And it does kind of loop back to what we were doing, and it's a good bass line. I really like this one. Again, a little bit bouncy, a little bit fun, fits the tone of everything. I think that works the best for this song, given everything they're doing for this one. But like I said, they're also not doing too much to like make this song complex. They're keeping things simple, and that makes sense for everything else happening in the song. This is one of those tracks where for a Mili song, it's simple, but at the same time, because it's a Mili song, they're taking that simplicity and adding other stuff to it to fill that space out, this being mostly the sound design in this one, and the story does make sense. It follows that narrative line that I've learned from 1000, and now I'm trying to kind of backtrack a little bit. I'm not sure if there's any more in the lineage of this song and the story I'm being told here, but I wouldn't be shocked if there was another one hiding somewhere in there. I know they like to do their like multi-tiered stories. Either way though, this one is very nice. It's weird because this one isn't as like grand as the other one. It doesn't have these like big bolsterous chords, this giant grand adventure sort of tone to it. It's just something that's a little bit more real and at the same time reflective of a character's mentality going, yeah, I know I'm not real. If I were, I would do this and have fun with this and be able to help you in this way because that's different from who I am now and I want to be able to be that for you. Whether or not that's the detriment of the character is kind of up to the story. I don't know if there's anything deeper. It feels like it might be doing the Mili thing where it gets a little bit darker as it goes on. The lyrics get a little bit more weird. It starts kind of silly, but then it gets more like depressing, like they're trying too hard, which that like conforming to the expectations of somebody else and that stress resulting from that is definitely a running theme for Mili songs, so I would not be shocked if that were the case. But at the same time, I kind of want to just believe that this one's a little bit more loose and fun with itself instead of trying to be something more dark and sinister under the hood. But it's also Mili. It's so hard to tell with them. They do that all the time. And just like all the other Mili songs I've heard, this song is doing its job very well, and it's doing its job reserving itself very well. I don't know what it is, how they choose which songs need to be a little bit more dense and deeper compared to other ones. Like, where does the mood get chosen when they're writing a song? That's something I would love to be able to ask them at some point. Like, what stage of the process is that, like going into conceptualizing? Is that something that truly is a factor in what they're writing? Does that affect the story or any of the other plot stuff? Or is it just like, hey, we're gonna write a song and whatever comes out, comes out? I really want to know. That's got to be something somebody's asked them. I'm gonna have to like figure that out at some point. But I think I've yapped enough for this one, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from Mili, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!